Hello, Duck. Here is your sewer scoop from this morning's inspection. That's me in the front basement. There's your clean out access. Always fun to have the clean out surrounded by carpet. Makes the things a little challenging. We're right into cast iron. Typical little bit of corrosion on the pipe, but all in all, the cast iron section is in really good shape. This is going to be a kind of a start and stop video in that because of some of the issues in the pipe, I had to jump up from where I was to go turn on some water, and then turn water off again, and then wait for water to subside. So I apologize for the long lengths of no action or pauses in here. So we're a little over 43 feet out before we change to clay pipe. It's coming up right here. So we're dropping into clay. The transition point between cast iron to clay is pretty decent. A little bit of a lip there, but that's not uncommon. Okay, so that's an offset. A little trouble getting over that one, but then the next one right here, this is the bigger challenge. So it's enough of a lip that it's going to keep my camera head from easily being able to roll over it. So one of the first things I'll try is to run a high volume of water through the pipe and then just try to kind of surf over the top of it. A lot of times you're successful doing that. I was able to get over this spot. But then you'll see that because of the large volume of water, basically the camera head is underwater for the next 2 or 3 minutes. Further on, there's what probably is another really large offset, but there's also what looks like root growth, and potentially there might be damage in the pipe in that section as well. So I have to, one, wait for some of the water to subside, two, try to kind of swish my camera head around to try to push some of the water out and just get a better view of what's going on. So obviously here's the water. You notice at the counter I'm right at about 51 feet. It goes back and forth because I'm trying to get kind of a running start and get over it. And now I've gotten past it. But then I'm kind of blocked, right? So from 51 feet to about 56 feet, which kind of makes sense because clay pipe sections are typically around 4 feet in length. So to the next section, I get stopped. So here's another pause. Apologize again for that. And we're just, I'm getting up. I turn the water on in the upstairs bathtub, upstairs sink, and the basement bathroom sink. So I had 3 fixtures running at the same time. So I'm turning all of those off. I'll come back down and see if I can see. It'll take a little while for the water to subside. Ultimately, in the written report, what I'm going to recommend is the first step is have the pipe cleaned, right? You want to see if it's not just basic obstructions that are in the pipe. Have the technician, and they'll do this as a part of the service of cleaning it. They should re-video the pipe as well. Have the technician see if there is any, obviously if there's any damage, the severity of the offsets in the pipe, and if they can continue on and get to the city connection. So at least at this moment in time, we're not getting a lot of drainage. Knowing the relatively steep grade to the street in front of the house, I would imagine that normally you should have, a fairly good functional drainage to your pipe. Hang in there. We'll start to get a little bit of daylight here shortly. Okay, so you can see the top of the water. Obviously my camera head is not level, but okay, so we've subsided a little bit. And I'll ease up a little bit and try to get you a better view. A little challenging when, let's say, a third of the pipe is filled with water. And again, this is me just swishing the camera head back and forth to try to push some of that water out. But we're not draining very quickly. Another possibility is it could just be roots, right? Clay sections are prone to allowing roots to grow in. The best case scenario would be that you have the pipe clean and everything is functional and draining the way it's supposed to. Okay, you get a little bit more visibility now. So again, you can see if you just look at the water on the top right portion of your screen, that's not really moving, right? And then if you look ahead, you can see that looks like some root growth. It might be catching some paper. Again, my concern is that one, the pipe isn't separated. Two, there's no damage. If it's just some root growth, again, that's just a characteristic of clay pipe, and it just periodically needs to be cleaned out. But ultimately, we need a little bit deeper evaluation and a good solid cleaning to kind of figure things out. I'm going to keep the camera head rolling as I pull it back. You're more than welcome to watch the return journey. Reach out to me if you have questions or if you need any assistance. I'm always happy to be a resource.